last time on the Broken Lands D&D campaign, I woke up in the sack. It was not the best way to wake up, being dragged by two very, very, very underfed, malnutrition people. And instead of running away and going back to where they were going away from where they were dragging me to, I did the opposite. I wanted to investigate. So I followed them for 3 hours until we actually reached the gates. Upon reaching said gate, we met a woman who seemed to recognize Perseus. I wonder what that was about. I guess I'll never know. Soon after, she ran away, crying. After that, I was so very nice and gently escorted down into a holding cell to talk to a man by the name of Alexander, who seems to be one of the main people in charge of who was one of the main people in the Under Circus. We had a nice conversation. He charmed me. I failed all my saving throws because I hate D&D Beyond. You will never be sponsored on this podcast.
What do you mean?
Buy a set of fucking physical dice then.
Nah, it's cringe. I failed all my saving throws. I lost my iconic headset. My goggles, excuse me. Which is really what I'm really upset about. Got tortured for a bit. That was kind of cool. Except for when they broke all the fingers in my hand. Not so cool.
How much health did that bring you down to again?
That left me with about 11 health. But then I healed practically all of it back. So.
And I believe that is when we first cut to the other party and what they were doing. For this cut, we went back in time to when they first realized that Perseus was gone.
Okay, so basically, we came back and we were at the graveyard, and I decided that we should I had an idea to go and get one of my mini dogs from my house, and use them to try and track down Perseus, but because we only had the card, we used it and tracked it down to an abandoned building that ended up having a tunnel beneath it. So we were exploring the tunnel and went down one path and met a flump, which is a floating tendril crab-looking thing that eats memories, I think. That's what I have in my notes. And his name is Henry. And he told us that we went the wrong way. Well, he didn't tell us we went the wrong way, but he told us that the path that we went down led to a broken down tunnel. So we went the other way, and we ended up going into like a cathedral church, and at the end of it was this drop that led to glowing grass, and we followed the glowing grass toward this giant shape in the fog above the grass, and it ended up being I think it was a tower. Yeah, it was a big tower. And we didn't even get to make it to the tower because from the sky descended a flying Perseus, and he flew past us. We followed him, and he struck into a wall. Knocked into his feelings.
Perseus, would you like to fill in the rest?
Shortly after all my fingers were broken, being the very brave, totally cool person that totally didn't cry, I healed up all my broken fingers. I went invisible. I tried to get out of there. They knew where I was. I don't know how. They must have seen me somehow. But in a panic, I ran out the main doors of the building that I was being held in. I ran into a tent. I could have possibly perhaps killed someone. Totally not on purpose, out of desperation. Ended up getting chased by this big bitch. Came across a pit. This woman, who Esmeralda Tenpenny, or the banshee formerly known as Esmeralda Tenpenny came floating down, screamed at me, causing a lot of damage. Seeing nowhere to run, nowhere else to turn to, it was either them or the pit. I jumped, and right before I hit the ground, I flew. Who knew I could do that? I certainly didn't.
Yes, you
That's
did.
where we are.
You are missing a couple of details. For one, the fact that your flying was engulfed in a massive star of blue flame. And also, the meeting with your, family member, shall we call her.
Oh, how could I forget? So everyone met my aunt, who, as it seems, appeared out of nowhere, scolded me for revealing that I could fly, smacked my left eye, or my right eye, whichever one's blue, she smacked that one. Told me I should have died instead, and now we're stuck in a pit, in a hole with no way out, and everything's looking peachy.
We come to with the fog surrounding all of the players. In the distance, you can still see the black obelisk of a tower through it. However, there is not much else you can see. What would the players like to do?
Those goggles are in that city. Up there.
One you just left. Oh gosh. So are they really all that important? I mean, we've gotten by just fine being treated how we have so far. I mean, I don't quite see how this would be such an issue that we need to go back. In particular, I need to go back in there when you seem to be like a wreck about now.
Well, considering he doesn't have his goggles, we can't really go back to. He can't go back to where we work at because he's supposed to have those, and the fact that he doesn't is a really, really big issue. So, a lot of the
So-
things that we could do, we can no longer do, if that makes sense.
So you can't just get another set of ruins?
It's
That's
not.
the
It's
main
not
thing?
like that. Those goggles are everything to me, in more ways than one.
How much do you feel like you are up to even going back in there?
Like right now,
Well,
I
certainly give you some time.
don't think it'd be a good idea right now.
Oh, all right.
You're, to be fair, not sure you physically can get up there.
I don't have it in me to really soar up there right now as is, or much less take all three of you with me.
Right, flying. That's a cool gimmick. Don't often see that.
Let's not talk about it.
You know what? All right. Yeah, sure. That's fine. It's your past. It's your
Funky,
stuff. I'm not gonna question you on that.
make me a charisma saving throw.
Dirty 20.
All right. Do not, and I cannot stress this enough, worry about it.
Well, how did all of you get down here? Actually,
Found a cave. Found some talking things, I guess.
Hello.
Interesting creatures.
who said
Yeah.
that?
Hello.
Think you can see the thing, I think, attached to...
Yes, there is a basketball-sized jellyfish currently holding on to Liam by a tentacle.
Hey,
Hello.
who is that?
Well...
Their name is Henry, and they are starving.
Hello. It floats over
Starving?
towards you.
Well, I think I have like some rations in my bag. Do you want some, Henry?
It pokes you in the forehead.
Okay, buddy.
Some of your memories start flashing through your mind, including the one in your childhood. Hello. It is
it's
nice to
not-
meet you.
Yeah, it seems that the more that they do that, the more memory...
Nobody else saw that, right?
So what?
Nobody else saw that. Okay.
No.
I would like to start trying to set up a small camp.
Like
Uh,
this
what
quick
supplies-
flash of fear goes in
What
his face.
supplies do you have to set up a camp?
I don't.
We can figure something out.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
It seems that you are hello.
Hello? And I also poke him in what would probably be his forehead. Hello.
In the middle of what would be his forehead is a mouth-like structure.
Poke him in the mouth.
I pat him instead of poke.
Okay. He is squishy and soft and a little slimy.
That's not what I was expecting at all.
Are there any rock shelves nearby? Or small caves?
You cannot tell easily. This is... Do you know what the basin of an impact crater looks like?
Generally.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I would actually like anyone who is currently in here and trying to observe their surroundings to make a history check as well as a perception check.
So make
Oh,
both?
cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
If you are trying to actively search your surroundings.
Yes.
Got 15 in perception and a 2 in history.
You don't know shit. The fog all around you is blocking your vision and making it hard for you to see. And you have no idea what this could be.
11 in history and a 14 in perception.
I got a 7 for both. I'm consistent.
So are we we're back at like where we came down from the ledge at, correct?
No, you are currently lost in the mist.
Oh.
The only identifiable feature you have in this mist is that black obelisk and this constant underlighting from the glowing lichen and what appears like grass.
I'd love to establish a connection with these here shrooms.
Roll me charisma. Just a
Ends up doing the
straight
shrooms.
charisma check.
Does the shroom feels the connection?
Oh, that's a 6.
You find no connection to these shrooms whatsoever.
Which way did all of you come from?
Well, we came from above. Like, can I kind of show him where we came from?
No, you do not know.
Well, we came from above somewhere.
So the way this happened is you all ran towards the tower. Percy then went rocketing off in a slightly different direction, and now you have no idea where, in conjunction from you, is the exit that you came from.
When we were in the last session, when we were on the ledge, was the fog or the mist all the way up, or was it just like in a little area of height?
It was... So, where the ledge was, it stopped at about the ledge.
And how high was the ledge?
That's where we get the problem of, from where you are right now, 50, 60, maybe 100 feet,
Okay.
at least, it's, because of the way that the actual terrain curves, it is almost impossible to tell exactly how high up it is.
Okay, so we went like down a down slope from the ledge, and the mist was
Yes.
at the top. Okay. That's what I was
Yes, you
trying to
are
figure
in a bowl, basically.
out. Okay.
And the bottom of the bowl is where the pillar comes out, and like the top and edge of the bowl is where the hole was in. And I will give you this: you did see a fuck ton of other entrances at about the same height.
Mm-hmm.
So you not only do you not guarantee that you will find the exact or the entrance you are looking for, you're not sure if it will be the exact entrance you wanted it to be.
At the very least, we should get out of this crater.
Yeah, it seems kind of obvious, especially after, being with the person who made it.
It will qualify. The crater Percy made was maybe a foot wide.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Uh,
I was
It's
not.
wide enough for Felice, but not us.
It is pretty much like, the Dragon Ball impact shape?
Nah,
Yeah?
I'm not. You didn't
No.
Yamcha me, dude.
No, you Yamcha'd yourself. All right. So, what do we want to do?
Climb out of the
Um,
pit. The pit. Goodbye.
All right. So, are you going to head towards the general direction that Funky pointed out, or that sorry, not Funky, that Liam pointed out,
Liam?
or are you
Yeah.
going to just try and head towards the edge of the crater as fast as possible?
Probably the direction you pointed out, no?
Yeah.
I will start walking.
As you start walking, as you get further and further up the curve, it starts to be harder and harder to actually.
While we do this, I also want to roll for Tales from Beyond.
As we walk, I'd just like to point out, Perseus keeps fussing with his hair because it keeps getting in his eyes. Now that he doesn't have the goggles to hold him back.
We're walking for about 30 minutes.
Quickly, while we're walking, could I give Percy a clip?
It starts to curve, and you know you are still maybe a quarter of a mile from the edge you jumped onto, but it is getting harder and harder to like walk on the surface without sliding down, as it is almost glass-like smooth stone. As you keep going, you find various like offshoot tunnels all going down and deeper. A few of them look to be at one point have been cobbled streets that almost have like the stone curving around them. Some of them look like naturally made, slowly carved out caverns. Some of them look like old buildings that have had rubble collapsed in on itself and almost fused into this flat stone. You get close to where you would like to be and realize that in order to get up, you would need to rock climb for a couple 100 feet.
Oh, jeez.
I don't have pythons and stuff.
Why does this always involve something athletic?
I can't rock climb with short swords, can I?
Not unless you don't want to have short swords anymore.
Yeah, I thought so. Well,
I have a grappling hook and 50 feet of rope. I
And
say as I hold both up.
Everybody has 50 feet.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I will tell you this.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, grappling hook, you can also only throw for about 50 feet.
I figured as much. I'm just giving options.
If we fall, that's going to kill someone. And I'd rather keep going on to find maybe some other way up rather than risk death. Doesn't sound like quite the good end to a story, you know?
I will say there is a Swiss cheese of openings all across it. Pretty much once the slant starts to get past a 45-degree angle, there are tunnels going in every direction.
Hey, Henry.
Hello?
Do you know a way out of here, maybe?
No.
Do you remember where we came from at all?
Henry starts floating up away from you.
Okay, good enough as any. Let's go.
No, he is floating straight up.
Oh, he's floating straight up. Oh, great.
You cannot, in
Unfortunately-
fact, fly.
Henry?
Yeah.
Is he too far away to like hear us now?
Is he just going? Is he just booking it?
He is going
With the
until you
dog.
tell him to stop.
Henry,
Alright,
come back.
Henry!
He starts coming back down.
Alright, I'm gonna head over to that Swiss cheese tunnels.
No, Felice. As much as I appreciate this clip, it's really not doing too much for me.
Come over here. Come over here, Perseus.
I'll head over.
I have more than one.
It's like I feel like my hair's a bit too wild for just. for these.
Well, I can certainly figure something out. I've probably handled kind
You have
of
any
crazier than
headbands?
that. Yeah, I do.
You pass one or two.
Are you gonna
I'm
give me
assuming that.
cornrows?
I'm gonna stinking braid you.
I mean, hey, if you
And
can
yes, I'm
do
going
for
to
it-
assume Liam knows how to braid someone's hair since he has 5 younger sisters.
What type of braid is it?
Oh, let me look up what type of braids there are.
There's French braid. There's
You'd
I
probably
only know
do a
French
French, if I'm being honest. I feel like that'd be the easiest one to do.
Yeah, generally speaking, that is kind of the basic beginner of braids.
I'll take it. I have a nice little French braid man bun thing going on.
He's gonna do that one where the hair like loops around the head.
The bond.
Oh my god.
He's not gentle about it.
Ow. Dude, come on.
Not complaining. That should do you.
Thank you.
Look, you look so pretty now.
Great.
All right. So what have we figured out we're going to be doing?
Or to stand in
we're-
front of the tunnels and channel some primeval awareness. Alright, so primeval awareness is an action you can expend one ranger spell slot, 1 minute per level spell slot, to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you. Or within 6 miles if you're in your favorite terrain. This feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number.
What is your favorite terrain?
My favorite terrain is swamp.
Okay.
Go figure.
It
So
does not.
I was-
It does not reveal where they are. It just reveals the number.
It does not reveal where they are or number.
Ah,
Crazy.
wonderful.
It just states that they are there.
All right, let me go through that list again and see what we see. Does it give you individual, or does it give you an individual ping for each type, or just do I get to tell you yes, there is this, or there is something?
It doesn't specify whether I get an individual ping or not, but I'm going to assume it's just a blanket yes. So aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiend, or undead.
All right. Do you want this to ignore undead because of where you live?
That would make sense.
The answer is yes. Something in that list is around you. There is at least some number of something in that list.
I would like to I'd like to check for tracks of aberrations. That is my favorite favorite enemy.
Alrighty then. I would like you to roll the advantage nature check that it takes in order to check for tracks.
Alright, that's a 25 on checking for tracks.
Are you just checking your local area?
Checking the tunnels.
Alright. How far down the tunnels are you going?
I will go a quarter mile down each tunnel, so this might take a while.
This will take you, if you go a quarter mile down each tunnel, 2 or 3 hours.
I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to be
Okay.
cautious.
Have we set up any sort of a camp yet?
Probably. I
So
don't think I have to.
my actual question is for the fact that you may want to rest in this space.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
we have bedrolls?
We should have bedrolls.
Perseus.
Perseus.
Do we have those?
No, I don't have bedrolls.
Check your
I don't
inventory,
think I
Mitti.
have one.
I do have a bedroll. Oh my god, I take it back.
I don't know if I have one. So do I need a bedroll to meditate? Is that what
Not
we-
exactly. No one needs a bedroll. You get slightly better rest if you have a bedroll as compared to if you do not have a bedroll.
Which, to be honest, if you're a scholar, you don't get much rest anyway.
I mean,
Oh,
if
right.
need be, we can just alternate between shifts. If anything, we just take cover in the tunnels. Need be. For at least a little bit. You take turns taking watch. You use my bedroll, I guess.
Congratulations, you have a bedroll. Bedroll achieved.
Thank you.
Alright, so you are currently all resting, and Liam is currently doing his best to try and do some tracking. So here's the problem with being a hunter of aberrations.
Mm-hmm.
No aberration leaves the same track as any other aberration. They are disgusting
Phasmophobia.
piles of flesh. It is almost impossible to identify what an aberration is by looking at it, let alone by looking at its tracks. Because by their very nature, they don't lend well to categorization. You find tracks that are very indicative of something that would be aberration-esque. There is pools of slime down some, there are what looks like, it almost looks like giant slugs, like the trails of giant slugs in the dirt. There are a couple of like times in which you hear a slight ringing in your head that is that you know as an aftermath of aberrations, as most of them are psychic creatures. And I will give you one last bit of information. Flumps are aberrations.
Henry!
So we have slime, slug trail, or psychic aftermath.
There are about 10 other routes that don't have aberrations in them, but they have tracks for other things.
I would
so-
like to use Song of Rest then, while we're
'Kay.
all resting to heal.
Yes, you are officially having a short rest.
What does Song of Rest look like?
So Song of Rest essentially would just be she's plopping on down. She'll pull out a lyre and start to softly play on the lyre, and basically she's singing like one of the songs from her homeland, of course. But this one has a theme around fragile things.
It would be very specifically a song about small glass gifts that are given and often not kept because they break.
All creatures gain an extra 1d6 hit points. If you got hit, I'm talking about you, Perseus.
Man, what's Neumond doing during his short rest?
I'm meditating. So I'm
Wow,
sitting at the, I think on your bedroll with my arms crossed, holding a skull in each hand with my eyes closed.
After she sings her song, Felice will kind of like look at the skulls, kind of like tap you on your shoulder a bit to maybe, signify she wants to talk to you. But you get out of your meditation.
Yes, it's like, because you tapped me on my shoulder, so yeah. I'll
Your
just.
eyes snap wide open.
No, they don't snap.
It's just like-
open. They open slowly, but I'm like looking in your direction before they open.
What kind of skulls are those?
One's a wolf skull.
And a rat skull. A wolf and a rat skull.
Any particular reason for that? Seems like an interesting choice.
I just collect skulls from here and there, from where I've traveled to.
Not human. I'm supposing.
No, never human skulls.
No one did either. Okay. Good. That would be a little disconcerting. Yep. I don't honestly know too much about the culture of the rune marked, to be honest, even being here as long as I have. Some things I've had questions about, what? Why are your peoples, I guess they don't really kind of secluded? I was wondering if there was a reason for that, really.
In what way do you mean secluded?
Well, I have to say it's the most difficult challenge of living in the area or getting into the cities and the stuff like that is, I suppose, just getting in. I was wondering if there was maybe a cultural reason aside from keeping. I don't know. It's just a bit frustrating as someone who wishes to hear all kind of stories and storytelling to be secluded from, parts where stories are told. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it can be hard when you don't have runes and you're trying to be where rune mark is. But honestly, I don't really know. It's just always been that way.
You have any hobbies aside from collecting skulls?
I hang out with my dogs.
Oh. Wait. Have we ever gone to? We went to your house, yeah.
Yeah, you used one of her dogs to find this area.
Yeah. Why do you have so many dogs? Actually, it's another question.
I used to travel a lot, and I just connected a lot with dogs. I'm not really sure why. They've always been a companion of mine wherever I went, and so I just connect easily with dogs.
Oh,
Don't
it's
know
kinda
why
sweet.
though.
I think it's nice that you can connect with another kind of being like that. Lord knows it's hard enough to do with those who are sentient.
So I just wanted real quick before you two get back into your RP, say Perseus would be a bit farther away from the camp, just kind of sitting by himself. That's all. Thank you.
Other places have you really traveled?
I traveled a lot of places before I ended up in the Runemark area. I wish I could name them, but I kind of didn't travel like to locations. I just kept walking around.
Oh,
I don't really know how.
The
Or where
the area you would have
exactly?
wandered would have been called the Whispering Plains.
Oh.
fellow wanderer, I see. Yeah, it's always
Uh,
nice to not really have a destination.
Which anyone who is from the city will know that the Whispering Plains is one of the Outlands, one of the 3 Outlands.
Dangerous?
Decently, yes.
Hmm.
Liam also tends to wander the Outlands as he wanders the Blackwater swamps.
I guess he'll come back from the first set of tunnels and be like, well, do you like good news or bad news?
I will tell you that you can identify that all of the tunnels will take maybe an entire day to try and map them out enough to get to one that leads to the surface.
Alright.
And
A day per tunnel?
no, not necessarily. It will take you 2 or 3 days in total to probably get out of here. And that is if you get lucky.
Okie dokie.
You don't have that much knowledge when it comes to the Underdark, and you can identify that where you are is the top layer of the Underdark. But you are aware that generally when things are this complex and knotted in tunnels as this is, it will take... You will need to go slow, you will need to draw maps, and you will need to pay attention. So it will take a long time for you to figure out how to work your way out of this area. I will say, you have marked a few tunnels for potential actual exploration, as they have actual features in them. The rest of the tunnels are simply empty. One of them is the one with the slime, and it goes straight for a while, and the slime builds a little further in as it goes along. You're not sure what may be causing that slime, but you get the feeling that it is... Whatever it is, it's probably going to be valuable food, if nothing else. You have another one that is, like, instead of it being a actual cave, it looks as if it was at one point a cobblestone road that just had, like, ash that turned to stone make these arches that eventually got covered by rubble, and then that got turned into a tunnel in and of itself, and then that was slowly buried after thousands of years.
So a fossilized road.
Yes, basically. There are 3 of those. You have a brittle stone cavern that is, like, very close to you, that you know, if anything leads up, this will probably lead up, but you also know that it is probably made of a fairly fragile stone, and you're not sure how strong it would be.
Well, you like the good news or the bad news?
Bad news. Get this over with.
Well, bad news is we're in the Underdark. Good news is we're in the top layer. And I found a few places that we could possibly go. So there's a few that appear to be roads that have been sort of covered and uncovered and remade. They look very old. Another one has a lot of slime, which means that there's probably something living there, but if anything, that's good food. And then there's another one, which best guess probably would be the fastest way up. However, the stone there doesn't look very durable.
Oh, so it seems like we're going to be down here for a while.
2 to 3 days if we're lucky.
These tight places.
You get the feeling that it would probably be best if you rested and camped, especially for the mental health of one of your party members. Speaking of which, I would like Perseus to give me another charisma saving throw.
Yep.
Another dirty 20.
Wow.
My mans.
At this point, Perseus would get up from where he was standing away from the group and come back.
Feeling a bit better?
Never been better. I give you
I-
a smile.
Neumond
That feels-
squints at you but says nothing.
You're not going to break down when we need you the most, are you?
No. I like that song you were playing
Okay.
earlier. That was nice.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. One of the first ones I learned doesn't really say too much more on that subject.
I give you a thumbs up. Cool. Liam,
What's up?
any luck?
So thinking on it. How are you today?
Pretty good, honestly. All things considered. You know, I broke down a bit. Sure, it happened, but now better than ever. There's really not that much to do down here, huh?
Yeah, suppose so.
Not that bright either. Though I guess it's in the name. Underdark.
It'd be a
It is
little
actually-
shocking if it was under bright.
It is actually
I like-
surprisingly bright where you are, thanks to the glowing lichen.
So I have a proposition for you.
Oh, me, yeah.
So I'll hold my hand out. I see these spores just kind of start to like float around. Would you accept a small imprint of my spores? Well, the solvent spores, technically.
What does that even mean?
Well, it means that I can sense generally where you are within
500 feet.
100-foot radius, if I remember correctly.
500.
500-foot radius,
You can communicate within 100 feet.
and I can communicate with you through my head.
You can cast the message. You basically can cast the message spell with no limit on characters and no somatic or verbal components.
I found it to be very useful. And considering that we
You used that already? Who?
Yeah.
You remember that one time? Remember that one time with all the questioning, all the descriptors of our relationship? Yeah, I heard every single word of it. Because of
Oh.
that.
Oh,
I have a question, DM.
Yes.
So, can I act as a message tunnel? For example, if someone is 100 feet away from me on the left, and there's
It
someone
takes-
else 100 feet away from me on the right, can I like pass?
It takes a bonus action to cast the message spell. Other than that, yeah.
how would this work? Do I have to eat these? I don't, like, is this just for me? Like, if you do it for me, can you also do it for her or her? For him? And I point to Henry.
Probably. There's
is
a limit
not.
to how much.
It is not necessary for me.
You can already.
Henry, what if we lose you?
He's already linked up in the sauce.
In order for them to already hear, which is little disconcerting, but honestly, we haven't really used it much at all lately.
Can I roll an insight check on Liam? All right, I'm just looking to see if you have good intentions with this. If I can. So with the 30-20, what am I getting? Or roll?
my
do you
God.
roll against? Do you roll against me, or what's up?
I'm not even gonna roll against you. I don't. You know what? Screw it. Just in case.
Just
What?
in case.
Not that I am, just because I can.
Go for it.
23.
Whoa!
What am I reading from you then?
I
What's the vibe?
am being very truthful with you. The main reason I want to do this is because A, you kind of deputized us, so I feel a bit of obligation for your safety, and B, I don't want to be like kidnapped unironically.
Imagine an ironic.
And also considering how
kidnapping.
badly this went for you, you're just kind of like, yeah, I want to keep an eye.
I'll sit there in silence for a little bit and I'll analyze you with these I don't know, you just got these two heterochromatic eyes just looking straight at you. After a while, I'll say, you know what? How could I say no to my two deputies? Seriously though, how do I do this? You just kind of
Take my hand.
I shake your hand.
As you shake hands, Funky, your hand itself goes numb for a second, and that numbness kind of travels up your arm to the back of your head before fading away. However, you do have an itch at the back of your neck now.
Scratch the edge. Ooh.
Nothing is helping it. It is like a slight buzzing in the back of your brain.
Not tinnitus.
No, tonight I just want to be in your ears.
What the
Some
heck?
brain tinnitus.
Brain tinnitus. So how do we test this out?
I'm going to say hello in your head.
Oh, why would you? Why?
Hello.
God.
As you say it, Percy, you hear the telepathic communication, and then immediately after, Henry just says hello.
How loud is it in my head?
Neither of them are any louder than they would be as if they were talking to you at a direct volume. But
Look, I can tell the difference between them speaking in my head and right next to me.
yes, because you do not hear the hello from them
Okay,
talking
just-
in your head. That being
double
said,
check.
Do not.
Henry always talks in your head. Henry does not speak.
That's
Henry
not
is
changed.
Henry is a telepathic being.
All thoughts, mouth empty.
I don't know if the other two are down for this too, but I feel like this should be extended to them if that's the case.
I was about to go ask that.
You don't-
And
I look up at you.
am I interrupting something?
No, you're good. You're good.
In light of some recent events, since Perseus' kidnapping, I kind of want to be able to have a general idea of where you are in a decent, not like everywhere,
Mhm.
but
How would you do that?
I'm going to extend my hand and see these swirls just start to float around. Since accepting the sovereign, I've been able to do a few things. I haven't had need before. This one allows me to, for lack of a better word, imprint spores onto a select amount of people, and this will allow me to have a general idea of where you are within around 500 feet. So a pretty good mile. Pretty good, decent. Not mile, but pretty decent area. There's the word. And if I'm in with 100 feet of you, I can tuck in your head and vice versa.
I look at your hand, a little suspicious. I look over towards Perseus. Did you already offer this to everyone else?
Yes.
It feels a little weird at first, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
You said you
Three.
looked at me, right?
I did.
Hell, shrugging will give you a thumbs up.
I shake my head.
Yeah.
So the good news
I
is
shake my head and take your hand.
We are
This
linked.
is amazing.
We have the Liam link.
so. I have given you the description of the tunnels. Do you need them again? One that it looks like it has beast tracks. One that has slime. One that is made of old road. One that is just empty. One that looks like it has how to describe it. Think like fossilized bone engaged into the rubble itself, and then one that is made out of this hexagonal-like stone that you know is somewhat brittle. You are unsure how strong this would be.
For the sake of propriety, can I go to that hexagonal one and just stomp real hard?
You stomp real hard. Okay, the plate underneath you cracks a little bit, but it does not cave in.
Okay. That's not bad, but not great. But now that we have done a bit of recuperation.
I will also tell you that all of them have this moss and fog.
I don't know. Have any of you really traveled in caverns before?
The definitive answer, so that no one asks me, is no.
I mean,
Big no on my part.
unless the sewers count as that, no.
Okay, well, this is going to involve quite a bit of luck.
As long as we don't go down the slime tunnel, I'm good. I don't want to get that slime on these clothes. You know how long it would take to get them out?
Oh, I know, and it would be tragic.
Really?
Would not be
Oh,
the first time covered in slime.
I live in a swamp. Don't ask.
Mm.
Anyway,
You live in a tree in a swamp.
yes.
I live in the swamp.
That is true. But
Am I
anyway, I
the
personally
only one
vote for
here with a
the
house?
riddle.
Molded by it.
I live in a house.
Well, you do now. You didn't used
Yeah.
to.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It's a good purchase.
First generation homeowner. You didn't buy shit.
It's a good.
You own it. You own it though.
Good grab.
Personally, I think we should go down the one with the road because all roads lead somewhere, right? Isn't that the saying?
Hmm.
What saying? What?
All
feel like-
roads lead to home. No, is that not
I
it?
feel like that's not. I do agree
Um,
with that one, but I don't agree for that reason.
I don't think that's quite how that works.
But I do think that might be the best one, considering it was made into a road. That means it was taken by people or things.
Mitti, roll me a history check.
Look at your Jimmy Neutron brain blast. Wow.
All right, Mitti,
Wait.
you can probably figure that this road itself is from the city that stood in the under what was the current city about 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. The Undercity was buried. It was originally a city that stood before the start of the Skeleton War, and it was the first thing destroyed in the Skeleton Wars. As every single country and every single minor faction all vied for this one central location that was vastly important to everyone else. The only reason why there's a new city built in its place is because it was so far buried that people are still digging miles below and finding pieces of the city. The actual city itself was bombarded with abomination after abomination, curse after curse, vile magics to destroy its walls and kill its people. And even then, that city lasted for 100 years under this constant onslaught of every single thing that could be sent at it. What finally did it in was actually the earth itself collapsing under the weight of both the city and the constant destruction.
So down the road, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would probably be
Sure.
best
People
bet compared to the other ones, unless we want to chase down whatever beast made those claws marks.
All right, well, boys and girls, make sure to grab everything that you have on the ground, not to leave anything important behind.
What?
Isn't for your
No.
stuff. Don't leave your
Well,
stuff
yeah.
behind. Which is what I'm saying. Like, what about that? Didn't you? What?
No.
I gave you a strange look.
I gave you a strange look for even saying anything like that. Like, I'd like to assume that we don't need to have reminders. But,
I'd like to
alright.
play mental ping pong with Henry.
He will definitely play mental ping pong with you, as that would feed him. We're gonna do this then. I would like you to get a D20 out.
All right.
Woo! Go, Henry!
You can say ping, or you can say pong. Okay?
Oh, God.
Oh.
If you say ping and I say pong, you have to say ping again. And that is how it goes back and forth. And the first person to break the cycle loses.
Pong.
Ping.
Pong.
Roll me a charisma check.
14, baby.
All right. Ping.
Pong.
Ping.
Pong.
Pong. But you have won one game of mental ping pong. You all watch.
Sure, so it's a 3 out of 5.
You all watch as Henry, who is normally a yellowish color, turns a slightly greener color and starts to droop a little bit.
You guys not feed him?
Why is he doing that?
I
Sure.
don't know.
Does he have to pee?
I'll
Do we
mentally
have-
say sure.
What's wrong with him?
I don't think he's a dog.
I
in
will.
that
I
way.
will. I will think to everyone. We're just playing some ping pong.
Henry is failure. Henry was not good at games.
I mean, with how long you've been underground like this, I mean, it's probably better than I
Right.
would if I was stuck underground for this long.
Henry can get good at games.
Good, Henry.
Henry will die.
Henry, no, don't.
Henry just falls to the ground, his face planted, his long tendrily eye stalks just kind of resting on the ground.
I will pick up Henry and essentially give it a piggyback ride.
You pick up Henry and realize that he is mostly just a literal ball of gas.
Yeah, so this will work.
Henry is now sad.
I'm sorry. I feel bad now.
I mean, you could go for 1, 3.
It's a 3 out of 5 game, Henry. You still have.
Henry
Yeah, go
lost.
No. There's more chances.
1 round.
Felice,
out of 5.
your back starts to get wet as Henry's eye stalk starts wiping against you.
Oh no.
Here, can I bring out like an actual like handkerchief?
I have an honest question. How is it going to hold the handkerchief?
I have no idea.
It does not have any grabbies at the end of its tentacles. Its tentacles are literally
Can
just...
it cast a mage hand?
No.
Just in the spot,
fucking
just in the
kidding me?
spot where it gets wet, I'll just, I don't know, dab there. That's using inference, I guess.
Yeah. This is being done while heading down the tunnel, sorry. As you head down the tunnel, it starts to go forward and then lean up a little bit and then split off into two different paths.
May I check for
Check for what?
tracks?
There are no tracks on these cobbled streets.
Are the
Just
walls just like regular tunnel walls, or since we're like?
The best way to describe it is think as if rubble got trapped in concrete that was poured, and then that concrete was solidified and then was smoothed over.
Does the sovereign remember this place?
This place is older than I am. And by the way, now that all of you are connected, all of you hear that.
What was that?
Who said that?
Oh,
Everyone say hi to the Mushroom King.
What mushroom? What are you talking? Mushroom
What?
King? What?
Hello.
Yes, hello. By the way, I know we've said this multiple times before, but sorry about the shovel yet again.
It was necessary.
Mm-hmm. Well, it just looks very awkward at the
How's your
realization.
recovery going? How's your recovery going, Sullivan?
Not great. It is abnormal for me to exist as a single being. We were not one, we were many.
So, is there any way to help with that? I mean, I'm sure you two have had talks about that before.
The honest answer is corpses.
Oh,
Excuse me?
The way myconids grow is we become the death cycle for most animals and beings. We help their bodies decompose, and then once they have decomposed far enough, they become molds for more myconids to grow. Before the curse took place, we had an agreement with the city above that they would dispose of their dead in a place that we could guide back to our abode. Though the process, we slowed the process so that it would take tens of years. We can, in theory, create new hosts within the span of a couple hours. But that would take the desecration of those who have died. And we do not wish that. You are still, by the way, standing at a T-junction.
Can we see down the tunnel?
It is... While you are sloping up and both ways go up, it is maybe another 500 feet down the tunnel at best before you, see any distinct change. And because of the gradual slope, you start to not be able to see past the ceiling.
Does anyone have a strong feeling which way we go?
Up.
Henry just starts falling up to the ceiling.
Henry is still, flopped on Felice's back.
Do we feel wind blowing at all from any of these two tunnels? Or are we too far down underground to be able to do that?
You feel wind blowing from every direction very gently. You are so far underground that wind no longer means that you are near the surface, but rather that the ecosystem of the Underdark is so complex that it generates its own wind.
Well, I'd say we go right, because last time we went left.
I guess right it is? Question mark?
You start to walk to the right, and after about another hour of traveling, the cave, opens up. The street stays the same width, but, you start to see half-buried buildings. You start to see, doorways that beyond it are stone. You start to see what would have once been, maybe... the posts for a stall, or, the roots of a building of the foundations of a building of some kind. And as it starts to open up more and more, some of these buildings are uncovered, and so you get more and more glimpses at this city. Most of them are like distorted and almost round, with the doors themselves being circular. And as you walk through, it opens up to the point where some of it has side streets. You get to the point where you can see in every direction. You're starting to come up onto what would have been a main thoroughfare, and that's when it starts to open up fully to the point where it starts to be a couple 100 feet to the ceiling, and you are in this vast cave with this desolate and empty town almost.
Quite the place.
Yeah. Wish could have seen what it was like before all this.
I'd imagine about the same. Just people. Or, undead people. Maybe
I
the
mean-
sun. I doubt the sun.
I doubt the sun too.
But what if it was like a artificial sun?
That might be interesting, to say the very least. Would be nice to dream, I guess.
Is there in the area we're in, is it like lit up or is it dark?
The tunnel you come out of was overgrown with this moss. However, this area, the only lights that you find is every 10 or 20 feet, there are these lampposts. And in these lampposts, there are these crystals. And every 10th one of those, every 20th one of those is letting off about 5 feet of light. The rest of them are broken or cracked. So you can tell that there was at one point light, and all across this small city, there are little flickers of mage light. But there is not any particular light in any particular location.
Man, that'd be great if we could see in here, huh?
Yeah,
It is
dark
a
vision.
little bit dark. Not
It is pretty dark.
though.
It is pretty dark.
I will light a torch.
I would like everyone to roll me a perception check.
23.
No way. Same. Oh my god.
9.
No way, not same.
Felice and Neumond. Roll a 9 and a 10.
Okay, Perseus,
Liam and
Liam,
Perseus.
there are
Whoa.
2 Perseuses here.
Oh no.
Perseus, you look next to you and you see an almost exact copy of you.
My-
Oh, heck
Liam.
no.
Liam, as these 2 people look at each other, you cannot tell which one is the real Liam, or the real Perseus.
It's not even with my mind thingy? Is it mimicking that too?
You feel a psychic presence, but you can tell that it isn't because of your magic, rather it is because of its magic.
So I can technically tell them apart.
You can, yes.
Alright. Which one isn't Perseus?
The one on the left.
I'm going to think that to Felice and Neumond.
What do Felice and I see?
You guys just keep walking until Funky says something.
Does my skin always look this good?
Which Neumond are you thinking it at?
Which one do I sense is the Neumond that I imprinted upon?
You can actually send it to Newman. However, you do notice now there is a second Newman, and this is when out of all of the doors you start to see these gray humanoid figures lean their heads out, look at you before becoming exact replicas of one of you.
We got the silver tier tunnel.
Not flat silver, more like a mottled gray. Think little gray men.
Ah, yes.
What does
We
this
got,
mean?
we got the mimic guys tunnel.
Mimic men.
I'm gonna line up the people that I know are my party.
As you
As
see a lot of
so-
them try and crawl out of the door and then fall over, and you watch a couple of them revert back to the gray form before, like, melting into the floor into a black rotted goop.
Do we all see this?
Yes, you watch as, like, a couple of them do this.
I want to give out a code word menagerie.
You can give that to Liam directly, and Liam can split that up.
All right.
Yeah.
I am the post office of the mind.
Perseus,
Yeah.
you watch from an external view as you draw this sword made out of silver.
No. See, that's all wrong. You want a sword like this. And I pull out my own sword. My great sword.
You cannot.
That's no.
Oh no.
I reach into my bag to like try to pull it out. When I try to pull it out, ooh.
The other Perseus is just staring at the sword. Neumond, please expend me 1 spell slot and choose a spell from your list at random.
Okay. Oh no. All right.
Hmm.
I use shatter.
All right, you all watch as one of the Neumonds reaches her hand into the air and just lets out a shockwave. Just up. This noise echoes through the entirety of the area. You watch as more of these are coming out and looking at you. Liam, one of them that looks like you, but this one, half of his face is just kind of sagging. You watch as that face slowly reforms. Please take away one of your hit dice. Liam, in your own voice, you hear someone talking to you out loud. Thank you. We are sorry. We do not know. Most of us are dying of starvation. Most of us could sustain ourselves on actual food. We do not wish to drain what you have, however, we are desperate. You watch as its face slightly melts again before it turns back into the gray humanoid. And now this is when you notice that this humanoid does not have eyes or a mouth. And it has 3 fingers on each hand, and it has 2 elbows on each arm. So that its hand itself almost compresses like a spring into its shoulder. Or its arm itself, rather, compresses like a spring into its shoulder. Before reaching out and extending almost the entire length of its body. Its legs are similar, but instead of extending out fully, they're almost doubled back and springy. And its spine is a little too long for a humanoid, as its head is dipping forward slightly, and its entire back is in almost this arc shape. And you watch as more of these crawl out before dying on the ground.
Yes. Can we look for the exit on the other side of the room?
This is not a room. This is a city.
This is a city. Okay.
If you want
any
to
way
try and
to go up?
If you want to try and find the exit, there is nothing visible. You will need to search through the city to find another tunnel, which could take hours.
We are trying to head upwards to the surface. Do you know of a way that your city connects?
You watch as it tries to speak, but because it's not copying anything, it just comes out as these, like, garbled, warped sounds that are just constantly, like, just dropping into a low, bassy wave before shifting back up.
Can I consent to copy? Or give consent for copy?
It does not have the energy to copy you anymore.
What about any others?
Most of the others are just staring at you, basically.
Okay, great. When I say I want attention, I don't want this kind of attention. Can we just, like, walk past them to... Yeah, alright, let's just go look for an exit.
Okay, as you start to walk around, no matter where you go, there are these heads that are popping out. Some of them are just sitting in the street. They're doubled back knees and legs just pulled up to them with their hands resting in between the plates.
You see that some of them, instead of having these long extended features, are almost short and like as if all of their body had been compressed. You want some of them look as if their entire face has been turned to a 90-degree angle. You watch as one of those that has an odd shape copies Felice's face for a second, with it still being sideways before it flickers and melts back into this dark gray.
Yeah. Does it copy, like, everything it can see? Or does it go underneath the wig?
It goes underneath the wig.
Oh, she's not very happy about that.
Mind you, it also copies the wig, but you can see little tufts of your actual natural hair popping out from under the wig because its copy is not as well put together.
Okay. Yeah, every time she sees that, she'll, like, do a tiny little huff and then, like, stomp off.
No one else tries to approach you at this point. Some of them you think are dead until their head slowly rotates at you at an odd angle, or as you walk past, these arms extend trying to touch you. I'm going to need a survival check from whoever wants to try and find the exit.
Me. Wait. Yes, me.
Who has the highest survival?
I have a +3, and I got a
not me.
7. If Felice sees one of these faces and with the hair, she'll be like a bit more separate, but not enough to lose eye contact with the rest of the party.
You find your way towards the center of the town, and you find a small bonfire going. It looks like they have taken chairs and thrown them in and are constantly trying to find more fuel. You find a few of these greylings just sitting there around the fire. One of them is, like, you see what is, like, a small, like, a small cat-sized centipede that they are biting into. You watch as, in order to bite, the flesh on their face rips open in order to even create jaws, and then bite before fusing back together. Another one is trying his best to play a lute, but it literally has no strings.
Can I try and string the lute?
Do you have extra lute strings?
Do
you have a lute?
I have a lyre.
Then you would not be able to string a lute. So you watch as these fingers, like, strum across this blank wood, its face staring blankly in no particular direction.
Are you a musician? I'll ask it.
Its head turns to you slightly. Do me a favor. Just for now, remove your proficiency with performance checks.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, sure.
As its hands and its hands alone become similar to yours, and you watch as it starts actually, like, tapping it out, and even though there isn't any strings, noise starts coming out of it.
Huh. Fascinating.
Why are we talking to these things?
I don't know.
You all watch, by the way, as Henry floats over to one of them innocently and bops it on the forehead before it melts into black goo immediately.
Henry or the thing?
The thing.
Okay.
Imagine, oh my lord.
I was gonna say the wording on that was not very clear.
Sad.
As it does, Henry goes pink and eyes start darting around, panicking.
Oh.
Yeah, we should get out of here.
Liam and only Liam, you just hear a slight muttering of, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I am assuming since they all melt into black goo, these cannot be utilized as corpses, correct?
These most definitely cannot be utilized as corpses.
Good to know.
You are not sure they even have human bodies, like humanoid bodies.
Well, Makina didn't state. Well, actually, I'll ask. Sovereign, do you need humanoid or is just any in general?
We need bones and flesh. The bones become the outline and the flesh becomes the food.
Fair. Okay.
So, to better clarify, you're not sure these things have bones or flesh.
Hmm.
You know that flumps would not consider to have either. A lot of the abominations you fight would not reasonably be considered to either have a regular bone structure or flesh.
So they need a regular bone structure and flesh.
Not necessarily. It's just if it's just a pile of bones randomly, haphazardly in a pile of flesh, then it's not going to give them any structure. That is going to get you a mound of mushrooms.
Instead of like a shroomy boy.
Yes.
So not preferable.
No.
Fair enough.
Are we going to be moving on and trying to find the exit again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I would like whoever is leading to make the check, and if anyone would like to assist, they may make a survival roll as well.
Hey, that aid would be really great.
So who would...
I can aid.
Okay. Roll me your survival check first. Okay.
Well,
This isn't good.
this is going terribly.
You look off in every direction and pick one at random, and find your way working in a snake-wise pattern through these small, like winding paths of the city, ending up at a dead-end alley with no idea where you are. Mitti, you can make that perception check if you would like. You mostly just see more of these things. Now, instead of trying to copy entire faces or bodies, you see tufts of your own hair growing on one of them, or like a smile that is very specifically Liam's.
Stop that.
You see one of them that just has bright green eyes, and only bright green eyes.
Huh.
Okay.
Who else here has green eyes?
I will say there are a few features that they do not copy, such as Mitti's runes, or whenever they copy Felice, whenever they copy Felice's clothes specifically, whatever it would be made out of red threads is actually a plain white. Less like it's dyed white and more like it is a type of lacking of color that only exists in concept.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
All right, what do you want to do?
So right now we're at a tunnel or alleyway.
You're in an alleyway. Above you is wide open, not necessarily sky, but like the roof of the cave is a couple 100 feet up.
How high are the buildings?
It depends on the building, but most of them are about 2 stories.
How high is that?
40 feet.
Okay.
1 story is 20 feet or 2 floors.
So all the buildings are around like...
Yes. There are a few others that are maybe 10, 20 feet, and they're butted up against these really tall buildings. There are a few that you can see that might have at one point been a couple 100 feet tall, but have been turned to rubble at the top, and so they're only currently about 50 or 60 feet tall.
Can I use levitate on myself? Is that a thing you can do?
Yeah, levitate on yourself is absolutely viable.
Yeah,
Right.
I want to do that so I can see like where we are ish. I
Okay.
assume we just walked, so we wouldn't be that far away from where we just came from.
You have been walking for about an hour now.
In the city?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I still want to try to do it if I can.
Okay. As you levitate up, you look down and realize you are still pretty much in the center of the city. You actually see the campfire, and then maybe
quarter of a mile away, down a couple of paths, you notice what you haven't noticed before, which is in the center of this city, there is this solid black monolith going through the entirety of it. You also notice that around the outsides there is various caves that it would only take walking in a general direction for a while to get to. The rest of it, you see that this city is potentially populated with hundreds of these gray men. Maybe even 1,000. And you also notice that in a few places, some of them look to be fighting over simple scraps.
This lasts for 10 minutes. I don't know if I can move while I do this. I think I just
You
go
can
up, right?
only go up and down or push off of objects.
Okay, well, I'm gonna, go, close to them. Not on the ground, but, I'm next to you guys.
How are you doing
Oh.
that?
Magic.
It's just a thing I can do.
You're like a balloon.
Yeah, maybe better. See how far she goes.
By the way, as you do
Newman
that...
saw Henry was like, I can do that.
Yeah, no, I was literally about to say, as you do that, by the way, Henry follows you up. He doesn't look around or do anything. He just kind of follows you up, floating, looking at you, and then follows you back down.
He's just happy he has another
Hey.
companion.
If you could have done this, we just could have went up.
I can only go so far up. I can't go super far. I can only go
You
so
also
far.
all do notice that she cannot move forward, backward, left, or right. She can only move up and down right now.
Can I want to try to move her around.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hand on Perseus' shoulder.
You can push her around all you want.
My hand on Perseus' shoulder to stay grounded in their vicinity.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I can get a lay of where we are. We're not that far from the center that we were at, but there's this.
Well, Neumond, I guess you're our guiding balloon to just tell us which way. I don't know. I feel like you could definitely go higher if you just held on to this rope or something. I don't know. Just give him a heads up when you're about to fall so he can catch you.
Liam is no scientist, but he thinks that this is kind of wacky.
Alright. So are we going to try and find our way somewhere?
I'm gonna lean Perseus with his shoulders in the direction that I saw the monolith in. So leaning him with my arms because I can't.
Alright.
So you're guiding. I'm guiding you. Guiding.
Yes,
Okay.
that is a fair guidance. You have done something and spent something, so you do have you do have advantage on this.
So what am I rolling?
You are not. You are leading, brother.
I'm leading, but
Okay.
Funky's my
you're
legs.
pushing me into the direction, right?
Yeah,
Who is
Funky's
the-
my legs.
Who is the one who is making the survival checks?
I think me,
Not
right?
me. Do not.
I'm pretty sure it's me because
In this
I saw the
situation-
stuff, right?
Then I will give you advantage on it.
Well, let's hope I roll high. That's
okay. Roll again.
I'm sorry, Liam.
I cry.
So for context for the viewers, Liam rolled his survival before they said he was going to lead, and he got a 23. If they had noticed that and said that Liam was leading, I would have let them get there with no problem.
Well,
I just thought that it would work out.
The good news
Because I
is you also
see,
lowered
but-
the DC by knowing where it is. The bad news is you still
Still
didn't
didn't
meet
get high
it.
enough.
wait. Did you roll with advantage?
Yes, she got
I
two
rolled the
12s.
same number.
Wow.
You do manage to find your way back to the campfire. You notice that there is 3 less of the railings. We are
They
back at the
really
campfire.
are.
You are still getting eyed suspiciously by the graylings.
Am I still float? How long did it take us to get back?
About 20 minutes.
Okay, so I'm no longer floating. It only lasts
Down
for
in
10
the bubble,
minutes.
dog.
You do still have a general idea of where things are.
Yeah. Okay.
More accurately, now that you know what you're looking for, you can see the monolith.
When you said you could lead us, I didn't think you meant back to the campfire from where we came from.
Oh boy.
I got us out of the alleyway, so
That's true.
that should.
That
be
is
good.
true.
I do like not being there. Certainly.
I'll be honest though, you falling halfway through was not fun.
All right. So I am going to say this straight. Liam, make me a survival check with advantage.
This is pretty
And-
funny.
You
That
can't
being
have double
said-
advantage, can you?
You watch as two of the Greylings at the fire stand up, and one of them looks at you, and its face morphs into Liam's, and just says, "You can't have any." And then morphs
We are not
back.
here to take anything.
And they reach out. Roll any initiative.
Oh boy.
For God's sake.
I will point out 3 of the Greylings have not gotten up and do not care. So, we have Felice, Neumond, Percy, Liam. Liam, you were the one who was leading the pack, right?
Yes.
Both of these creatures jump out at you instantaneously. You watch as one of them lashes out these arms. Does a 19 hit you?
Yes.
I can almost guarantee an 8 does not.
No, it does not.
Okay. As it lashes out, this arm itself morphs slightly, and its fist becomes a little bit bigger and slams you in the stomach as its entire arm extends as it gets to you. You take 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Cool.
And the other one reads the surface thoughts of all of you. You all get a slight headache. I would like anyone who does not want to think of something traumatic to roll me a charisma saving throw.
I'll just roll one
Not-
just
What
because.
trauma is
Something
happening in my life?
traumatic. Oh, yes. That would be a 7?
Saving throw, correct?
Yes.
I hate my life.
Why
That's
not?
an 11 for me.
Oh, that'll be a 17 for me, dog.
All right. You watch as this grayling morphs into the face of a woman whose face is half rotted and the other half has rune marks going all down it. Her entire body shudders and jitters and moves, and it cries out, "Why did you do this to me? Your fault." Neumond, please give me a charisma saving throw again.
Oh, that's better. Not great.
You take 2 psychic damage. It stays as this woman, this zombie woman. Felice, you are up.
Oh, my turn. Oh, cool. All
Yeah.
right, fun.
Also, your shortness
Let's-
would have gotten rid of your tail if you had done one.
No, I didn't do one before.
Okay.
I'm gonna do one right now, though. It's a 4. Tale of the Runaway. Oh, that's not immediately useful to me. Cool.
Okay, so you all watch as this spectral energy just kind of manifests around her. Until you use it, there will be no description of what it is. Is that all you're doing with your turn?
That's a bonus action. I can still use an action, I believe. So I'll use Dissonant Whispers at level 1. It's a Wisdom saving throw. DC of 13.
It fails.
It fails. 12 psychic damage.
Okay.
Failed save takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its
Which-
speed allows away from you.
Which one are you targeting? The one that has not taken a form or the zombie woman?
One that has not taken a form.
Okay. You watch as its face morphs in pain for a little bit, for its eyes snap onto you, and it runs back a little bit before, like, turning around and glaring at you. Or its face snaps to you, rather. It has no eyes.
Can I flip it off in the way that my people would?
Yeah. Oh, no. You'd probably just throw up an actual middle finger. It's
Yeah, sure.
There are probably Ashbone curses, but you would probably just go with something that was a little more, like, little less traditional and a little more universal. I will tell you, you watched it suffer, but it did not suffer as much as you would have liked. Brings us to Neumond.
Okay.
Your mother is currently standing in front of you.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling. I look confused and scared at the same time because I look terrified and confused, and I like stagger backwards and send out chill touch like almost like just really fast. I send it out out of like fear
Okay.
towards the one that looks like my mom. Does a 15 hit?
It does 3 damage. All right. That is
What?
necrotic damage.
Yes.
You watch as this spectral hand reaches out and grabs your mother's face and sears it. How your character would react to that is up to you.
She's just scared, like terrified, but she doesn't know why. Like she's visibly terrified and confused at the same time.
That brings us to Percy.
That's me. I'm gonna try summoning my sword again. My bonus action. See if I can actually do it.
Fully summons.
Oh, that a big sigh of relief. How far away are the 2 things?
One of them is 30 feet away and the other one is 25.
That is way farther than I thought. Either way, that's fine. I'm just gonna blast them with Eldritch Blast.
All right, you Eldritch Blast. Give me an attack roll.
15.
15. Which one are you attacking? Sorry.
I'll do the one that's 30 feet away.
Okay, so that would be the plane one. The plane one had to run away from you guys at 30 feet because of what? That hits. What is your damage?
1.
Nice.
1 solid point of damage. What can I say? I'm that guy. And that's my turn.
Then we move on to Liam.
Oh, baby. Seeing that every bit of everything is starting to hit the fan, I'll pull out my short swords and run towards person. Yeah, I'll attack the person who hit me.
Okay. You would have to run up 30 feet in order to do so.
Run up 30 feet. I can do that.
That would also put you next to both of them.
What's life without a little risk? Not 20. On the first one.
Nat 20. Alright, so before you roll damage, I would like you to roll me a d4.
2.
2. You, as you bring this short sword down, cleave its arm off. Roll your damage. I need your total.
12 slashing, 6 psychic, for a total of 18 damage.
Okay, you watch as its arm flops down. It is bleeding a black ichor out of that stump.
I'll take a reaction to talk.
You may.
I'm going to be very, very clear. We are not trying to do anything but find our way out of the city and up to the surface.
I would like you to make me an intimidation check at disadvantage, or actually, no. Just straight, you would have been disadvantaged if you hadn't just cut its arm off.
Alright, Devin.
That's a no. You watch as they look at you, and the one whose arm you just cut off leans at you and lurches towards you.
Alright, fine. A bonus action.
Alright.
Another short sword! I'm assuming a 9 does not hit.
9 does not hit.
Fortunate.
That ends your turn.
Yes.
So to start, I need to... The zombie woman reaches out to slam you, Liam. Her entire body lurches and both of her arms come down at you. The first one is a 11.
That does not hit.
Second one is a 19.
That does hit.
Okay.
Are you always rolling 19s on me?
You take 6 damage. The other one, you watch as from this stump, blood starts dripping, and it reaches out with its hand, grabs it, and tears it in such a way that clamps it shut, and you watch as its nails itself are embedded there as it rips it away, creating these sutures of its own bone. That is its action. So we move on to Felice. Actually, before anything else, Liam, what's your AC?
16.
Okay, you're good.
Liam, are you looking kind of worse for wear at all?
Well, no, I don't look my best, but I look okay.
I mean, he has a nice ass, if nothing else.
Indeed.
I'd imagine she'd know. She's at eye level with it at all times.
Why the fuck do you think she's dating a
there goes
human?
my headset.
My thighs and cheeks are very well toned.
Immaculate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're so fertile, bro.
So right now, you guys are all clumped up in about a 5-foot circle, and Liam is 30 feet ahead of you guys.
Classic Liam.
Okay.
Classic Liam. Classic Liam.
Classic Liam.
I'll use first level healing word on Liam.
All right. I would like you to roll me a spellcasting check. So whatever your spellcasting,
Excuse me?
a check for whatever your spellcasting skill would be. For you, it would be charisma.
So you want me to just roll straight charisma?
Just a straight charisma check. Yes.
Do I get to heal?
Are you shitting me?
What is?
Okay. That's a natural 1 as a 4. Fuck.
Okay.
Maybe I don't get to heal.
How many?
I guess.
What? How much would that heal normally?
7.
What is the actual dice?
1d4 plus 3.
1d4 plus 3. So, roll me 5d4 plus 15.
Oh,
Ooh, plus 15. That would be
What a nice 26 you got there.
yeah, it's a 26.
curtains.
26. Liam, what is your maximum health?
Oh,
32.
shit.
Okay. What is? So
He goes
you may
down.
add. You may go up to max. Take. Then
What?
tell me how much is left from the 26.
How much
What?
is left from the 26?
Yes.
After so 32 minus 26, that's 6 HP.
No. How much do you need healing right now?
12.
You need 12. So 26 minus 12 is 14.
No. Yeah.
Alright.
So you gain 14 temporary hit points and a point of exhaustion.
What?
As the doppelganger who had only patched his wounds looks at you and casts the same spell as you. Liam, your metabolism goes into overdrive. As all of your wounds are mended and then some, you are feeling invigorated and then it goes away.
This is why you never drink coffee.
I feel like I should stop trying to do anything with medicine. Clearly, it's only hurting, not helping.
Pull back the curtain a bit. I'm using this encounter to show the two things that I have added. These are the consequences of healing, because healing magic has consequences on your body. More specifically, the consequences of overhealing, and the fact that I am now using the brutal combat rules, also known as the injury table rules. I'm also using a version of the injury table rules of my own design for traumatic experiences. Basic gist is if you get hit hard enough, it's gonna hurt more. If someone crits you, you might lose a limb.
That sounds fun.
Yes.
No.
So what's going on right now?
Right now,
Besides Liam
Fel-
being exhausted?
so Liam just got overhealed. Actually, you don't gain the point of exhaustion just yet. I will tell you, the second this combat ends, you gain the point of exhaustion, though.
Oh dear.
Neumond, it is your turn.
Excuse me.
I used Ray of Frost on the mom.
All right, you
On
Ray of
the
Frost to your
mom.
mother. 24?
Yeah. Is it not a 24? I got a 20.
Double checking the new rules that I'm using. Because its AC is only a 14.
Oh.
So,
It was
as-
just like, screw you, Mom.
as you
Oh
hit
my
it, you watch as this ice covers its chest and binds it, curling its way up to its face. Yes, please roll for damage. That is actually necessary.
It's a 2. It's not that much, but
It is not. You notice that it is no longer moving. As you hit it so hard that it is currently shocked. We go from Newman's turn to Percy.
I'll run right next to where Liam is, I guess, to like back him up, and I'll tap one of the two. The
Okay.
one that's not frozen.
Okay, so you attack the one that is not frozen.
Yeah,
Make me
it's gonna be Booming Blade. So I just roll normally. to
make
hit.
me a melee attack.
I'm assuming a
Does
13.
not hit.
I thought as much. Well, here we are. Ending my turn.
That moves from Percy to Liam again. By the way, this one that has just sutured its wounds with its own bones is staring daggers at you.
I have something better than daggers to stare at you. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 does not.
Unfortunate. Nope. Bonus action. Other short sword. Does a dirty 20 hit?
It does. Okay, so how much damage did you do?
10 slashing plus 2 psychic for a total of 12 damage.
That brings it to the Greyling's turn. You watch as this gash that you make across its chest starts bleeding again, but it no longer cares. as it slams its entire body into you, then follows up by curling its arm around and slamming it in the back of your head.
Oh dear.
Wow, this fucking bastard's having a bad day. Highest was a, so that was a no. It was a 4 plus 6, so 10. 8 plus 6 is 14. Does that hit you?
No.
Okay. So it's bashing itself against you with fervor, but it is not getting through you. The other one turns and looks at you, Percy, and its form fades out before it very specifically targets your thoughts. Roll me a charisma saving throw.
Sweet horse beyond my understanding. That's a 15.
Doesn't do anything. It does not change off, so it is still the Greyling, but because it did not get anything from you, it then just tries to slam both arms down at you. Does 14 hit you?
No.
Does an 8 hit you?
An 8? No.
Brings us to Felice again.
Where is everybody in correlation to?
Percy and Liam are about 30 feet and 20, or 25 and 30 feet up, respectively. The two of you are in the back. You and Neumond, sorry, you're in the back.
Either of them looking worse off?
Liam is positively glowing. I don't know if Percy's taking any damage, though.
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, I'll just ready my tell of runaway if one of them gets hurt too badly. So just readying that spell.
Okay.
And that's all I want to do.
Neumond.
Brief overview of the Greyling, just so I can make sure that I know what's going on.
Hey, guess what? It didn't hit you anyway, but it didn't attack you, Percy.
It failed? Gotcha.
No, more accurately, it was stunned that round and did not do anything.
Perfect.
Because I forgot it was stunned because of the blast from Neumond.
Oh, then...
My Fear Blast.
Okay, so then technically I would have gotten an advantage against it, but you know what? That's fine. It's whatever.
Well, yeah, you did explicitly say the one that wasn't frozen. I figured you realized the frozen thing probably would have given you an advantage as it cannot move out of your way.
They're letting me fight my mom. It's alright.
You gotta fight your own battles.
It actually still is your
Yeah,
mom
fight
because
your
it does
own
not
mom.
have the ability to drop that. As it was stunned that round. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
still fighting your mom.
I'm fighting my mom. Hi, Mom. Bye, Mom.
So you and Felice are 30 feet back. Percy's 20 feet in front of you. Liam's 25 feet in front of you. The Greylings are 25 and 30 feet, respectively. Your mom is the one that's 25 feet.
I'm gonna use Chill Touch again on
Right.
my mom. Obviously. Oh, never mind. I guess I can't. Got 8. It's not hit at all.
Then we move on to Percy.
Another, I'm gonna try Booming Blade again. 23.
23. Fuck me jogging.
So I roll for damage?
Yes, roll for damage. And as you do, like this slash, you cut into its shoulder and you leave this gouge.
7 points of damage, and if it moves at all, it will take 1d8 worth of damage. Thunder damage. And that's my turn.
After your turn is Liam's.
I could spice something up, or I could do what I always do and use short swords to solve my problems. Does a 22 hit the person who is trying to grab me?
Does.
10 slashing damage, 2 psychic damage for a total of 12 damage.
Okay. This
If
one
it
is
is still
looking
alive.
very rough by the way.
I'd like to hit it with bonus action short sword. Does a 18 hit?
It does.
That is 9 slashing damage.
9 slashing damage. Alright. As you cut into it twice, the last one just chops its head off. There is one left, and that is most likely the end of your turn.
Yes.
Okay, it does melt into this black. Moving on from your turn, it is the Greyling's turn. The last one that exists, now very, very mad at, very mad at Percy. It slams you twice.
Is this
Does
my
a
mom?
Yeah, it drops your mom form, by the way.
Base. Sweet. Awesome.
You said a 20 what?
Does a 20 hit you?
Yeah,
What is your armor class?
15.
All right. Mark that you have a wound, and you get hit twice. What a wound means is that you must take an action to close it, and until you do, it deals you 1d4 bleeding damage
Wow.
every round.
Wow.
So the first one hits you straight in the face, clocking you for 6 damage, and the second one comes in and cracks one of your ribs for 6 and then 7 damage.
Big 13.
And that is the end of its turn. Actually,
This is what
it
made
will
my front line success.
it will attempt to read your mind. Give me a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Didn't Jork have a ready action or something?
Yes,
Yeah,
that will go
it
off
did.
for 13
Okay.
damage.
Just double checking. 24.
All right, it gets nothing from you.
I've jumped off a cliff, bitch. You can't scare me.
Oh my god.
No, my gosh.
Felice to tell me what her ready action does.
Oh, yes. So basically, the target can immediately use this reaction to teleport up to 30 feet to an occupied space it can see. When the target teleports, it chooses a number of creatures it can see within 30 feet of it up to your charisma modifier to immediately use the same reaction.
Yes, you pick a space. You can choose any number of creatures to teleport themselves wherever they want. If Funky teleports, then then he can choose. You can choose 3 things within 30 feet of you that can teleport away.
Okay.
But they choose where they go.
Oh, I can teleport 30 feet away.
You can teleport 30 feet away and then pick the 3 things around you to teleport 30 feet away of their own choosing.
So I'll teleport 30 feet away. Whether that's on top of a... Actually, that wouldn't work because they're 4-story buildings. No, they're 2-story buildings, whatever they are. So I'll teleport 30 feet away, hopefully behind something with a little cover,
Okay.
if I can.
That's not terribly hard. You're in a cityscape.
Okay, cool.
If you want to, by the way, they do have windows. You can teleport up to like the 2nd floor.
I'll do that just so that I'm out of sight from everybody.
Okay, so you teleport up to the 2nd floor.
And I'll
Just
select
disappear.
what's his face.
I will
I'll
also
select
tell
Liam.
you do not stealth by doing this, so everyone does currently know where you are.
Well, they know anyways because of Liam's thing, so that's fine.
Including the enemies.
Yeah, again, that's fine. I'll move up. I'll teleport into a building.
Okay, so you are currently on the 2nd floor of the building. What creatures do you want to use your, Actually, by doing so, you would actually remove yourself from being able to use it on any creatures. Except for... Actually, no, because it would happen beforehand. So yeah, you can use it on any number of your party members.
So really, just be. If that's the case, I'll just do it on all 3 of them.
Okay, all 3 of you may use a reaction to move 30 feet if you want. If not, you do not waste your reaction.
So we can teleport anywhere 30 feet away?
Yep, any direction. Up into a building, back away from the fight, towards the fight, up into the sky.
I'll go with, I guess. Sure.
I would just go where Perseus went, I assume.
Okay.
Just 3 out of the 4 members disappear.
Yep,
Like-
so you are all now in a building behind cover. Liam, you teleporting anywhere?
You just gonna stay there by yourself?
I will teleport. There's the frozen person, and that's it, right?
Well, they're no longer frozen.
But they are there.
Yes. There is
Hello.
1 Greyling left in combat. There are still several Greylings around that are not in combat.
You know, I'll teleport away where the rest of the party is.
Alright, so
Okay.
you are all now in a building. This building is furnished with wooden chairs and pretty simple furnishings. There is what probably was similar to a candelabra, but with a magic stone instead of candles. And then you find a bookshelf with several books behind you. That ends Percy's turn. Liam.
Hey, hold on, that was my turn?
Sorry, no, that was the reaction. No,
Yeah,
that
I was
brings-
gonna say, I don't remember attacking.
Sorry, my bad. Because it was all happening because of you, I forgot who started it.
I was just double checking, man.
Felice, I'm sorry, it is your turn.
Grab another tail from beyond, cause why not? Don't worry, this one's pretty useless. Actually, a vicious mockery. The boys down, the boys down below.
Okay.
It's within 60 feet, so and wisdom of 13. Wisdom check of 13.
Wisdom of 13.
Mm-hmm.
I pass.
Okay. So
Half as much damage on a pass? Or is it Saber Suck?
I'd saber suck.
Perish. Neumond. Small
Ready for a
meaty.
moment.
I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. I was talking and I was muted,
Oh my god.
but it's okay. I didn't say anything. I said a lot of ums, so it's all right. We're in the second floor.
Yep.
Does the creature know we went there?
Yes.
Yes.
There was basically
So it saw us teleport.
There was basically a bright flash of spectral energy when you teleported.
Okay, well then, I'll just use chill touch again.
Alright. Roll to attack.
It doesn't hit.
Pain. Percy.
I would like to go upstairs away from the rest of the people around me. And now I have a question for you. If I use my bonus action to heal myself, would I still need to do a medicine check, or would that suffice?
To heal yourself? I'm
Yeah,
assuming you're
like,
using an ability to
Healing
heal
light.
yourself? Yeah, no, that doesn't need a medicine check.
No, I meant as in, would I still need to do a separate medicine check to fix my suture, my whatever?
Your wound? No.
Yeah.
Healing spells would close a wound.
All right, cool.
Healing spells will close a minor wound.
But would I still be bleeding for next turn if I healed myself?
No, but you do, however, take 4 damage for this turn.
All right, that's fine. So I'll use my bonus action healing light to heal myself for 1d6. So let's see how much I actually heal for. Cool, I take 2 damage.
I would actually.
Because if it doesn't stop the bleeding, I won't do it. Which is why I'm asking.
Okay. The weird thing here is if it doesn't actually heal the equivalent to what the wound did to you this round, I'm still going to let it heal, but I'm just going to tell you that is because of D&D weirdness and not because of actual logic. Got it?
Okay, cool. So just to know, in the future, if this does happen again, it will stop it.
Yes. Any healing spells will close a wound. Will close a minor wound.
Okay, cool. So I don't really heal any damage. I'm still stuck at 8.
Yes.
At whatever my health is. Haha, almost metagame. Anyways, I can still see the guy, right?
You went upstairs. No.
There's no windows upstairs.
I mean, there are.
Went through a window.
Okay, let me put it this way. To get back to the stairs in the room would have been about 15, 20 feet. To go up the stairs would have been another 10 feet. To get to the window would have been another 15, 20 feet.
Okay, would they be visible in my line of sight then? No?
No.
Yeah, that's my turn then.
Okay.
Guess so.
I'm confused as to why you ran up in the first place.
Why would I let them see me heal myself?
Because they've already
They know I can fly, but that's about it.
Because they've already seen you use blue fire.
I would give a shit.
I figure, whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
I still do it.
That's fair.
It made sense to me.
It is reasonable characterization. I was just double checking that was the reason, and you weren't doing it for a tactical advantage.
No, it was literally just for characterization.
Okay, then I totally give benefit for that. You take it in point of inspiration.
Radical.
Nice.
Mushroom Boy, your turn.
Yes. So we are in a building, and they are not pursuing us currently, correct?
I mean, they're currently staring at you, but it hasn't been their turn yet.
Is there a way to access the rooftop?
Not quickly.
Can I get to the rooftop?
In theory, if you run up the flight of stairs twice, you could probably get up there. But that would take 45 movement just to get up top.
45 movement, huh?
Yes.
Am I near a window?
Yes, you are right next to a window.
Okay.
You teleported into basically the windowsill, or
Perfect.
just behind the windowsill.
I'd like to pull out my longbow and my arrows.
All
I'd
right.
like to pull out my gun.
That takes the entirety of your next 3 actions. No,
Alright.
I'm joking.
I know. Does it take an action or a bonus action, though? I can never remember.
Neither. It's a free action.
I'd like to cast Zephyr Strike with my bonus action.
You cast Zephyr Strike.
And then I will give myself advantage on a weapon attack roll. But before I do that, I'd like to use the 30 feet that this gives me to go up the stairs and onto the rooftop.
What's up, man? All right, bye, man.
How's it going? And now on my perch, I would like to fire an arrow.
All right. You had 60 in total, then?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, you can get to the edge and fire an arrow down.
Whee!
I thought you jumped off because you said that.
It was a 25 hit.
It sure as shit does.
Whee! That is 9 and 1 psychic damage. And 3 force damage from Zephyr Strike.
All right.
Total of 13 damage.
That ends your turn, and it becomes the Grayling's turn. I would like to describe, by the way, that your arrow pretty much sunk straight into its shoulder and is still embedded there.
I have
It-
19 arrows.
Looks up at all of you and just...
Gives up and starts walking away.
From atop this lovely building, should we try and go about getting out of this city again?
Are you going out of the city or heading to the monolith? Because
What do we want to do, people?
We
Monolith
still
or
don't
city?
know the way out of the city. All we saw was the monolith.
you saw
and then
exits
the
to this.
caves.
You saw exits to the city in various directions.
Yeah.
Those would be the way out of the city.
So do we want to exit or do we want to hit the monolith?
Out of character, I want to check out the monolith. In character, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Last time we saw a monolith, Percy fell down.
What, you think it'll happen again? Another copy of me will fall down?
This one with red wings.
Fall down again? You're gonna trip and fall.
I fell down. Roll me advantage. You know what to do by now.
Survive. Oh, yep. Huh.
Okay. Let's
25!
go.
I'm not gonna roll again, because that's the highest I can get.
So that's not 20?
That's
Nice.
not 20.
I'd
All
rather
right.
you just say not 20, bro.
So you
Natural
look
20
down
plus 5.
at this main thoroughfare that you've not been walking on this entire time and realize there are 2 caves at either end of it.
Guys, we might, excluding Neumond, we might be criminally insane.
Excluding Newman, she's the one who got you lost.
Yeah, I was
We
going to
might
say,
be-
why
we might-
excluding her?
Okay, including Neumond, we might be stupid.
Honestly, I'm not surprised.
And
To be fair,
uh,
the only reason he can see it is because he went up into a building and is at the top of it. From street level, you cannot see it.
Okay, I
I'm
was
gonna
going to say,
make my way through town, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound.
I was going to berate Newman, but after hearing that, I won't berate her.
Yeah, to be fair, after she flew up and got locations to go to, she went to the monolith,
Yeah. I
which is a
wasn't
lot harder to
going-
get to because there is no
going
main
out.
thoroughfare to it.
I'm not a cave person. Okay. I just saw the structure and
Not a
thought, let's
cave
go there.
Yeah, no.
20.
Nerd saw
Imagine
interesting structure, and local nerd sees interesting structure, decides life is not worth it, must explore.
Besides,
Go
like,
see what that is. Come on now.
To be fair, I would have done the same thing. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, out of character.
yep, yeah.
So you get to the mouth of this cave. You see that it dips downward slightly.
Is it time for me to stylishly slide down a cave into who knows where?
As you see it, you watch as a bunch of the graylings start to follow you.
nope. Down.
First things first, they attacked us first. That was self-defense. Second thought, why are you following us?
Are you planning on
They
talking
are-
to them? Are you talking to them?
They are not.
Here.
They are not speaking in any way. They are just shambling at you.
Yeet!
Did I say you could fucking roll?
I didn't say I wasn't rolling.
Okay.
I'm sliding.
Ah, okay. Normally when I hear yeet, I think people are. I hear yeet and then a click. I think people are rolling.
Oh.
To be fair, he has done that a lot.
Yes, he has. So you all slide down, and it goes pitch black. That's where we end today.
Oh no!